What's up, folks? It is Saturday, December the 14th. Just got done exercising, so bear with me. Yeah, man. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. I was supposed to make a video. I didn't make one, but oh well, doesn't matter. Anyways, I had to post somewhere, so that's all that matters. Anyways, just got done working out. It's 8, going on 9 o'clock. So for whatever reason, my body woke me up at like a quarter after 5 this morning. Don't ask me why. Didn't have an alarm set. The alarm I was supposed to set, I didn't even set it last night. So my body must have been pretty tired. So anyways, yeah, I got my workout in today, so that is done on this super Saturday. Just so you folks know, it is windy out here, very, very windy. And this morning on my way to the gym, there was a nice little power outage. And for a guy who was legally blind, seeing that stuff, the darkness, it seems to be worse when it's raining. I don't know why that is. I think maybe because the rain is like kind of hides the lines on the road, as some of them are, aren't as visible. But yeah, it was the street that I went down. I was kind of like, oh man, like I seen all these like flashing lights. So I'm like, what's going on up here? Thinking like, oh, cops pulled somebody over. No, they was in the middle of the intersection, and it was just darkness, straight darkness for a lot of the area. And so luckily there was a car in front of me who was almost going the same way as me, but I pretty much kind of just slowly trailed behind them and let them lead the way. So and then I don't know, it was for quite a while before I actually started seeing streetlights that were actually working. So I don't know. I wonder how long that power had been out in that area. But from when I left this morning, and I left this morning around before 7, so which was still a little dark out there, and the wind was pretty. It wasn't as bad. It didn't really pick up until I got a little bit further away from home. And then that's when I really noticed. It was like scattered showers is what it was this morning, but oh well. Anyways, wasn't gonna stop me from going to get my workout on. And loving on that Stairmaster, man. I'm telling you, something else. Game changer if you haven't done it. Hey man, 30 minutes is really all you really need. With a decent resistance. And you're gonna feel it. And I'll probably be feeling it tomorrow. But I'm actually going to do a back-to-back. I'm going to do it tomorrow as well. So, which might change up. Well, that'll give me 3 days in a row then. Because I've been doing it Monday. Wait. No. No, so it won't give me 3 days in a row. I've been doing it Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturdays. So, yeah, that'll actually work out beneficial then. Because I also have a rest in between. But, I jog in between the days that I don't do the Stairmaster. So there's an alternative. I go back and forth. But yeah, man, the workouts have been great. The food. Speaking of food, oh gosh. So cravings, still holding them off at bay. I'm actually going to go look for some alternatives to the regular stuff that I would get. And, do a little taste testing today just to kind of see what might work, what might not, and hopefully I find something that'll quench my taste, my cravings or whatever, just to hold it off. I was watching a movie last night, and it came out in I think it came out in the early 90s. For all those action fans out there, Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, classic action. You could call it a martial arts film. That's what it was. Classic martial arts film. And just to give you a quick plot on the. Anyways, Van Damme's character is the brother of the kickboxing champion, and they decide to take he decides to take his talent to Thailand, because he's not, he pretty much beat everybody in the, division and everything. Well, he finds out that they fight differently over there, and there's a scene it's in the beginning of the movie. There's a scene, so spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but there's a scene in the movie where the brother is like, Van Damme's character is like telling his brother, like, hey man, because he went to go get ice for his brother before the fight. He's gonna fight their best fighter. And he's like, man, I don't think this is a good idea to fight him. And he's like, what are you talking about? He was like, because I just seen this guy, and the guy he ends up fighting was practicing his kicks and knees on like this pillar in one of the locker rooms, and literally it was pretty much like part of the ceiling was like coming down just from him like kicking on it. I remember my dad telling me about this movie when I was a kid, and I was like, I hadn't seen it before, but obviously he's seen it before me. My dad would always watch certain movies before I could even watch them, just to make sure they were appropriate, I guess. But anyways, he had told me about it, and I was like, well, what happened? I was like, he's like, yeah, he's this guy, and he was like telling him, his brother's like, don't fight him. Of course, him being the champion, he's like, he had no fear at all. He's like, so I'm not worried about that. He's like, I got all this speed. He's like, he says, trust me, he won't be able to stop me. The very first round, this man gets obliterated. I mean, he get beat down. His brother has to come in and help him to his corner. And he's like, man, we should just go ahead and quit. He says, nah, man, I'm not quitting. We're going to finish this. He's in no way, in no shape or form, whatever you want to call it, capable of finishing the fight. When his brother tries to stop him, his baby brother, he's like, no, come on, no, don't. And he's like, no, get off me. And before you know it, the man ends up paralyzed at the end of before the second round even ends, because he gets beat down that bad. And then they just throw him out in the back. Don't even send him to a hospital. They do it differently over there. So, but it got me thinking about, sometimes people get confident about themselves, overconfidence. And that is a dangerous thing to have. And the thing about it is, his baby brother being his corner man was something that, they said that they wish both of their parents could have seen them, together like that, working together, chasing the brother's goals or whatnot. And so in that moment, before they even go out to the fight, his brother's like telling him, hey man, I don't think this is a good idea. He says, because we're in a different country. We really don't know. I don't even think he really knew all the rules. That was his biggest problem. He didn't even really know all the rules. So he was talking about, like, the guy just elbowed me. And he's like, that's how they fight over here. That's what I was trying to tell you. It seemed like the baby brother knew more than big brother, who was just like, I'm the champ. Nobody could beat me. You could probably say he was in his prime, at the peak of his career or whatever. And he beat everybody. He wiped out the whole division. So to him, nobody could beat him. He's unstoppable. An old saying that I've always heard, and I want to say, I know my mom said this before, but I know an older woman told her this as well. And said, like, there's someone out there always better than you. And that is so true. You hear fighters talking about that all the time. Fighters, athletes or whatever, there's someone out there who's always better than them. Or they say their biggest, opponent is themselves, which is also true. But, you'll see fights, trilogy fights or whatever, and a lot of times, they'll end up not being able to beat a certain fighter, And it's like, man, 3 fights, you know, the first time they might lose, second time might be a tie, and the third one, they can't beat them. They actually lose again. And so they'll say, like, later on in their career, when their career is over or whatnot, and I talk about that one particular person that just couldn't get past. And then they usually like break it down. It was usually had to do with like the style of fighting that they were doing. And so, you know, it just kind of goes to show you that a lot of times it's like you can put in all the work and everything, and sometimes it's just not. It's just something you just can't get past. And I don't know how that all works. It's almost like you have to like push it to another gear or go to the depths that you probably never even thought you were capable of. And I remember, I'm going to use this particular rivalry as an example because I thought it was really good from the beginning all the way up until the end of it. It's an MMA fight, UFC. It was Daniel Cormier versus John Jones. And I want to say those guys fought twice. They fought twice. And the first time, I want to say Jones won by decision, and then the second time Jones knocked him out. But DC was like, he was like the top dude at the time. And, you know, pretty much he beat everybody, but he hadn't beat John Jones. John Jones has still not lost a fight. He got one blemish on his record, but it's not because he lost the fight. It was because he did an illegal elbow early in his career. And so you can't hold that against him. The man is just, to me, he is the best mixed martial arts fighter in the world. I don't care what anybody says. His record speaks for himself. Speaks for itself. The man is that good. That good. Go back and watch his fights if you don't believe me. But and then like he's fought other fighters more than once too. It's almost like for him, he had to prove to himself that he was that much better than these folks that he beat. You know, especially if they're like, oh man, you know, well, he got lucky, or you know, I would have beat him on this, so gave him a rematch. One of the most brutal fights I think I seen him in was he fought this dude named Gustafson, and he took a lot of damage in that fight. And he ended up saying he still won the fight, but he even said, I didn't really train for the fight. It showed because he was getting tagged. And then they fought the second time. It wasn't even close. Wasn't even close. So actually, the man actually he actually did the work, put in the work. So, but anyways, getting off track. Going back to the Kickboxer movie, the champ should have trusted in his brother because your corner man is also supposed to look out for you. Everybody who knows about fighting, because he did throw in the towel in the second round. Matter of fact, the baby brother threw in the towel, and he literally was like, because he knew it was over. His brother was like laid out on the mat, and the Thai boxer, he didn't care. He kicked the towel out of the ring, and then gave him this elbow and just like, paralyzed his brother is what happened. So, but I mean, if he would have, they could have just called it quits at the end of the first round, you know, and then, or could have not even fought him. Or, before you even fought the guy, you should have known the doggone rules. How are you gonna go to another country to fight? Because the rules are different. You know, not all the rules are the same for like fighting. So, sanctioned fights. But lesson learned, it's a movie. At the end of the day, it's a movie. But you know, I have listened to interviews before. They talk about the difference in how certain organizations run their fighting industry or whatever. So, but anyways, that's all I got for now. I gotta run to the store because I gotta figure out what I'm gonna have that is a good alternative to some creamers and stuff that I enjoy every once in a while with my coffee. I haven't had no coffee in weeks, so I'm gonna make some coffee when I get home. But Other than that, you guys have a great, wonderful, blessed day, Super Saturday, and have a great weekend as well. And I might drop a video tomorrow. I don't know yet. But you guys have a blessed day, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.